Number one, holiness is a relationship, not a behavior. Look there at Isaiah chapter 30, verse 21. Your ears will hear a word behind you. And I put this verse in here because this is critical. This is how holiness is activated in your life. You will hear a word behind you. And in Hebrew, what that is saying is you don't know where this voice is coming from. It's the voice of the Lord. You don't necessarily hear it audibly. You don't see it with your eyes, but you hear the voice of the Lord speaking to you. This is the way, walk in it, whenever you turn to the right or to the left. And watch what happens as you're in communion with God. You know, when you're in those private times with the Lord, it's amazing what happens. You can't even describe, you can't explain with words what happens when you're with the Lord. If you really want to be holy, you've got to have time with God. There's no other way around it. Because as you spend time with God, pouring your heart out to Him, letting Him pour His heart out to you, something so mystical, mysterious, so powerful, so miraculous begins to take place. Your heart is changed in His presence, and you're never the same person again. How that happens, I don't know. But it's a wonderful thing by the Spirit of God. Watch what He says here. As you hear the voice of the Lord guiding you and instructing you and speaking to your heart, as a result, you will defile your graven images overlaid with silver. And you'll look at your addictions. And you'll look at the drugs, and you'll look at the alcohol, whatever else might be the addiction, and you'll say, you know what, I don't need you anymore. I have found something so much better in the presence of God. And God spoke to me, and when He spoke to me, those chains fell off, and my heart was free, and I don't ever again have to turn back to those old ways. That is holiness. That is God sanctifying your heart. Holiness comes from relationship. Holiness is relationship. In that miraculous relationship, God prunes away all of the attachments to evil and to carnality and to sin, and He draws you deeper into His heart, into His presence. That's holiness. And as a result of hearing this word behind you, you will defile your graven images, your molten images. You will scatter them as an impure thing, and you will say to them, what? Be gone. See, holiness is not a rule that says, I can't do this. Holiness is a transformed heart that says, I don't want anything else anymore to do with this. What was I thinking in the first place? I see the sin, I see the filth, I see how it grieves the Spirit of God, and how could I ever have partaken of what put Jesus on the cross? I want to be with God. I want to be holy before Him. Holiness is a relationship. It's not a behavior. It sure does affect your behavior. But I want you to see it's internal. It starts in the heart.